Hello and welcome to the Mega Blood Moon podcast. This week we are attempting to create a musical out of whole cloth about a horrifying subject that will do nothing but give you nightmares and haunt your dreams for the rest of your days. Do I regret doing this? Yes, I do. You'll understand by the end of this episode.
The rules are simple, and there's only 4 of them. Number 1, your script must be 70 to 90 pages long. Number 2, the minute you type the end, you are done. You get 1 draft, so don't take it too seriously. Number 3, the budget is whatever you have in your pockets, so unless you've got a American Express Gold, write accordingly. And number 4, the moon must explode at some point, in some way, during the story. Welcome to the big stupid party.
Alright. Out of 42,
All right,
let's see what we get.
Rolling the dice.
Rolling the D42.
Once again, we'll see if I can get one of mine in there.
Number 12. Yes! Yes! Finally! Number 12. Umbilical the musical.
Man. Not because it's yours, just because it's not one of mine.
I know. God, I've been so excited for this one.
I can't believe we got it. I really didn't think we'd
So,
get there this early.
I know.
This might be too good.
I'm shocked. Any of my ideas, whenever we get close to one, I'm like, oh man, we dodged a bullet on that one. Mine are not fun like the others. So, for Umbilical the musical, here's what I have written down so far. 2 twin brothers connected at birth by a tumorous umbilicus navigate the awkward realities of high school. We see them over 4 years, going on dates, making friends, playing sports, and learning about life as one brother slowly digests and absorbs the other, leaving him a vestigial husk. The climax comes when the entire family agrees to surgically remove the vestigial brother from his twin so that the twin can go to prom.
I hate everything about this, for the record. I think it's well thought out, and I think you did a great job. This is not my ball of wax, baby.
I also wrote placentaphobia, so we can kind of see a theme in my ideas.
Well, I mean, that is you've kind of got a whole plot there.
Not all the interstitial. I feel like we got to write some musical numbers. We got to get some songs.
Okay, we're gonna write music on this episode. I don't know the tune. Can you hum a few bars? All right, Tony, can you loop that?
We'll just keep a tumor that makes us the same person.
Just freestyling it. I love it.
Man, it'd be a shame if somebody lost the audio to this episode.
The lost episode.
Look, if you think this one is too much done, we can roll it.
No, I don't know.
I did write down a lot.
We're abiding by the rules. Unfortunately for me.
I mean, honestly, this could be just a cutscene in a Farrelly Brothers movie, so I love it. I mean, we could do a lot with it.
That's kind of how it came up. I was like, what if someone was just watching something just horrific, but it was a musical and also
yeah, what if it was Society set in a high school but a musical? I understand. It's just like...
Well, Society is set in a high school. It's just
that's
to be a
musical. Point. This is just...
high school.
This ain't my end of the spectrum, baby.
Well, I figure we need to establish the beginning, and then get them forward to high school, and then kind of hit the main point of every year. Because in my mind, it takes place over all 4 years, instead of being like High School Musical when it's just 1 year. I think I've never watched High School Musical. I just know it's in a high school and has a musical.
Well, the opening number is My Brother, and the T, because that's the tumor. And you gotta give it, it's gotta be jaunty, but it's gotta be grand, because that's how musical... See, unfortunately, I know so much about fucking musicals, so...
See, this is why I was excited, because I knew you would do the musical bits really well. as I was thinking about this the whole time, I was just like, Tony's gonna fucking hate this, but he's gonna be the one to be able to think about it as a musical.
Yeah, I can do songs. I'm not big on the musical methods.
I have written exactly one song for a musical that Tony helped write, and it's because we were rewriting Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. And I wrote a love song between the main Nazi and the Sheik that he meets to gain access.
Yeah, Ben wrote the Sheik parts. I wrote the Nazi parts.
Do you want to? I'm very proud of my part. Do you want to hear it?
No, not right now. We can't burn that now. We got to work on the. All right, so stage open. If we're gonna think about this as a musical, we have to think about this as a stage musical, and then we can adapt it to the screen afterwards. So stage opens red. We have multiple curtains. We need like 3 different shades of pink as the curtains, right? And they pull
and
open.
I mean, I'm just
Yes,
picturing
they
like a
pull
guy in a
open-
newsy suit
Yes.
comes out and he's like, "Twins born with sharing an umbilical cord," and then
No.
No.
We're already
It's a big like fake belly that they put on the actress.
No, Ben, you're thinking too small. What are you doing here?
It's giant fake belly. No, this is just when we're staring down the barrel of it.
No, that's what I'm saying. You have to start with stage curtains. The stage curtains are going to look like labia.
Spread legs,
and then
like in stirrups.
Yes,
and then...
yes. Now you're getting it.
Now that's
Then
what I'm
you
saying.
pull
Is that
open.
after the curtains part, then we get to the spread legs.
Yeah, it's
personally,
just,
I think the curtains
massive
should maybe
legs.
maybe it's like the proscenium is the spread legs, and then everything happens in the beginning for the first part.
Yeah. Okay. All right. But I'm just getting to the musical part. So we open, and then you have your 2 main actors. They got to be on. It's got to be like a couch that's at like a 30-degree angle, right? Which I think they use in they use in various stage productions. I can think of when they do
A casting couch.
Rocky
I think
Horror
that's a
on
casting
stage.
couch.
Yeah. No, it's got to be a circle. And it's not black leather. It's got to be...
Additional element. As the curtains are parting, we hear push, and then just a spray of blood comes out.
No.
Gallagher style.
Ben.
First 3 rows soaked.
Ben, the overture...
Absolutely.
I'm already ahead of you. The overture is set of the bass line of a doctor saying, push, 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 and that's the overture, and you get like being like you're doing great, honey, you're doing great, and then like the overture keeps going. All right. So the curtain opens, 2 actors in the bed, and that's when we get our opening number, which is my brother, and the T. No, we got we have to open big. So you start with the first 2 people, you introduce all of those people, and then we do as they're pulled forward and we have the big stage legs closed. That's when we have the doctors and everybody in coming to do the second verse and the chorus with them all choreographed. You want a musical, you're getting a fucking musical.
Okay, and the second verse and chorus.
So it's
fine, Jesus Christ. But here's what I'm saying: the doctors come out, and their musical number is "Your Mom Didn't Survive the Birth."
I think that's the stinger on the end of the song.
Okay,
yeah, because that's how every musical at the end of the opening song, somebody comes in and says something that sets up the plot in motion or like changes everything immediately, and that's the main doctor being like, "We lost her."
Sir, there were some complications.
Unfortunately, your mom died. Would you like to see why? And then they just wheel out a pile of meat.
You were so large, you turned her inside out.
From the pushing and how large you were, it created a vacuum within her cervix, and she ripped inside out.
She essentially imploded.
All right, so we've established that they have a tumor umbilical cord, so there's fucked up Siamese twins. So yeah, the opening song is my brother, and the T being the tumor. It's got to be jaunty. What kind of a feel do you guys want this to be? Like a rock musical, or do you want this to be like a third, like Guys and Dolls, like crooners?
A Disney musical, Disney movie musical.
Because I'm thinking you could have the one guy be like my brother, and then
light
if we get two people in the same vocal range because they're Siamese twins, You have one of them on the one stage like, my brother, the other one, my brother, and then we have the tumor has a singing voice.
Let me pitch.
That's what I've reached to.
So my thought was,
and the T.
what if it is a shared umbilical cord? So one gets the umbilical cord from the mother, and the other one goes to the brother, and one of them starts very large, the first one on the chain, and the second one small, and then over the course of the musical, they switch. The other one connected just starts continues pulling all of the nutrients out of the other one.
All right, so we start with them both as bases, and by the end, the brother who survives is still a bass, but then we have basically the brother who dies is an alto, because
or just can't sing.
Yeah, well, no, I mean it's just like as
just the voice is ripped from them.
No, I'm just saying like it's a fucking musical, Ben. You got to have him sing. But if we show it him, his voice is getting higher and higher as we're swapping out different people to sing.
That's the thing. In a musical,
smaller and
you
smaller.
Can't sing. You can't.
I think
live.
You're taking the musical part too literally.
Yeah. So
you're the one who made
his voice goes away. Yeah, but you're taking it like full musical, not like a grim facade of a musical.
If you want a musical, we're a musical.
Well,
I give you a cookie, you give me a cookie.
You're writing like Moulin Rouge. I'm looking at more like Heathers the musical.
I've never seen Heathers the musical because Heathers is perfect the way it is.
One of you's doing Moulin Rouge, one of you's doing
That's a great
Mulan.
reference point for what I'm going for.
Yeah, and I'll have you wash and dry, prim and polish till you gleam with pride. You'll bring honor to us all. Bitch, I know all the lines.
Like, I don't think we need to go that heavy on the musical front so that, like, he raises to an alto.
No, but what I was saying is, what if...
should just be depressing. Like, he just can't
initially,
fucking sing
one
anymore.
cannot sing, and the other one can sing beautifully. And then they slowly but surely, as the nutrients are absorbed by the other one gets stronger as the other one dies. His voice gets better, or he's able to sing, the other one is not.
I actually like that. That's great.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm sorry, Tony.
No, I don't think it's a bad idea. I'm just thinking of how you're gonna do that through the years. So, how many musical numbers? So you say it's a musical, right? But how many actual songs are there going to be? Because if we're gonna
actually know the construction of musicals,
how many songs can you put in 70
Tony,
to 90 pages?
I don't watch musicals very often.
So 70 to 90 minutes.
79. So 90 minutes. 90 minutes. I think Showboat's 90 minutes. Showboat has 14 songs, maybe. Wait, am I thinking of Showboat? Hold on.
Tony, how many songs do you want to write?
Dude, that's what I'm getting myself into.
Or rather, how many songs do one of our enterprising viewers, possibly the German ones, want to write for
I love this.
Just remember, you also can write these scripts. We need to put 50 songs in this and really fuck with them. There's one line of actual dialogue, and it is at the end when the vestigial twin fucking dies.
This is actually one song that lasts the entire... Yes,
it's an opera.
Thank you, German listeners. Help us with
Oh,
this.
that was actually... I was going to recommend that originally, too. Is just say, what if it was an opera? But then I decided that would be too facetious.
I also have no idea how to write an opera.
Oh, that's way easier. You write a libretto,
I mean,
people act shit out, and then somebody sings real high.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
I mean, yeah, it'd basically just be a slightly meaner... Just meaner version of Repo the Genetic Opera.
I suppose I could use that as inspiration, yeah.
No, actually, I think I know what we got. I put some thought into it. We're going to go Gilbert and Sullivan style. Because comedic operas are always short. Like Pirates of Penzance is probably like hour and a half, 2 hours, if that. And there's generally more acting in between.
Is there a David Mamet musical?
Is there a David Mamet musical?
I wasn't going to say anything because I don't get it, but I'm glad Tony caught it. I was so excited for this for the express purpose that I have no idea what to do with the musical.
I desperately want to hear Glengarry Glen Ross the musical now.
Yeah, I kind of do too.
Because Coffee for Closers is a banger of a song.
coffees for closers.
You all are hosers. You see this watch, it costs more than your wife.
Tony, I think you have purpose now. Not kidding. Not that you didn't before.
Thank God. Thank God something's going to give me purpose.
Mammoth the musical is fun, though.
Tony, I do love that you're going with the more upbeat songs, because I feel like the more poppy the songs, and then the more just whenever they're acting, it's just not fun. So like every musical
Madam
is
Butterfly.
just like this fun little fantasy.
We're going like Madam Butterfly style then, which is all their Gilbert and Sullivan. So
never seeing that.
I'm just picturing like Scrubs.
Just gonna
like it's very serious, and then they cut to a musical number of something ridiculous.
That'd be much easier to do. Oh, sorry, the Mikado is Gilbert and Sullivan's. Madam Butterfly's the other guy. But what's our setting? Because then we can change instrumentation based on as they're traveling through the years. That'll be a fun little thing to do on the side. So what year do you want to start in?
2005.
All right, where is this school? Do we care? Is it unnamed Midwest state? Is it unnamed East Coast state or unnamed West Coast state?
It's like Anywhereville,
okay.
Indiana.
We're going to call unnamed Midwest. All right, what is the status of Terry Schiavo? Is it relevant to this musical? That's a joke. That's a joke. It's a joke. It's a joke.
Relevant.
Only for me, and given the time period, incredibly relevant.
Why is it? I don't know if it's only for you. I do remember Terry Schiavo.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
No. During high school? Yeah.
Like 2005 was when it all came to a head, though. So, like you said, 2005, my brain was like, Terry Schiavo time.
Terry Schiavo time. I was a junior in 2005. I know I'm old. Fine, Ben.
Weird way to take that. Very weird way to take that.
No,
For our German listeners, Heinz is ancient, older than time at 36. You could have taken the compliment.
You got real lucky you didn't get caught up in the troop surge. You were graduating right around when they were just like, Hellcats on deck. We got cookies on dolls and Hellcats on deck. Do you want to go die for Royal?
Hey,
Cookie.
I have several
Cookies
friends that fell victim to that ploy.
We do, which is even funnier because, like, graduating in 2011, you already understood what was going on over there. At least 2005, 2006, we still had some veneer.
I wouldn't say we had friends who did that. We knew people.
I was friends with Ross.
Oh yeah, I was also friends.
Yeah, I'm Brandon Miller. Yeah, we got some.
It's two.
That's some. It's more than one.
I'll take two.
Is one some? I don't know.
It's more than one. What? It would have been. So, knowing Heinz's luck, I would have been so fucking thrilled to hear that he got drafted during that time.
Is the only man drafted.
They started the draft process, and in 3 hours stopped
they processed
the draft
one
process,
name.
And they have you.
It says I've been drafted to the Czech Foreign Legion.
The conscript.
You're going to Kosovo, brother.
It's just the entire Czech military, and then Heinz off to the side with an American patch on him.
That's not even that.
Send in the Heinz.
So in World War I, there was a legion of Czech soldiers who found themselves very deep in Russian territory when the Bolsheviks toppled the Tsar. And also after their country was currently being occupied by Germany. So they were just stuck in the middle of Russia, and they just took over a bunch of trains and became train pirates. And then the U.S. sent what was called the Polar Bear Expedition in order to attempt to relieve them by coming through Siberia. It did not go well. But the funny part is that the poor Americans who got sent to Russia, who was no longer a belligerent in that war, didn't get to come back until 1919, a year and a half after the war was over.
18 months in Russia?
18, yeah.
18
I think
months in Siberia?
Yeah.
Ooh.
In like a Kursk, like actually in a Kursk, like not just the place on risk. When you look at it and you go, what's there? It's literally just a bunch of Americans being like, why are we here?
You folks know how to get to Sevastopol.
Yes. Literally what and that was the response of all of the Russians too. They were just like, we don't know why these Americans are here. They're supposed to help the Czech Legion, who is 2,000 miles south, and watch over these supplies that we looted 6 months ago.
Not to mention, half of them they probably came across were just like, what the fuck is Russia?
Because they were Detroit's own, baby. They literally, what happened is General John Blackjack Pershing said, I need a bunch of people to send to Russia because supposedly we have a supply base there that now that the Tsar is gone, we need to secure. And the British and French said, yeah, we'll get them there. But secretly they said to each other, hey, we're going to try to open up another front in World War I in Russia using these Americans. And Pershing, ignoring whatever they were doing, went, make sure they're all from Michigan so they can handle the cold.
Oh, that was the
and
reason.
They got trained in survival by Ernst fucking Shackleton, who basically said, yeah, these guys are going to go over there and die.
All right, boys, here's a handbook in Russian. Good luck. Privyet. And then the person they're talking to is like, I don't speak Russian. I speak a weird form of Mongolian.
I also forgot another key part. They took away all of their Lee Enfield rifles and gave them they were Lend-Lease Mosin Nagants that were measured and cited for a unit that was called a Russian pace, which was the old Imperial Russian military thing, which is it's 5.5 feet. It doesn't even fucking make sense. So nobody could shoot anything because their guns were pieces of shit. And they took away their Browning machine guns and gave them water-cooled Vickers, which meant that before using them, they had to boil the fucking gun so that it would be hot enough to fire.
Them boys went through the soup,
Detroit's own. Man, they went through the soup.
That's an incredible story.
Oh yeah, it's very forgotten. It's why when people say it's not like we've ever invaded Russia. It's like very much we did, and we lost 400 guys.
We should table this.
Speaking of stories, 2005 Indiana.
Gary, Indiana, 2005.
Gary, Indiana, 2005. Darn, what a harrowing story about American troops in Siberia in World War I. Anyways, Gary, Indiana in 2005. Two Toomer brothers? I do love how the minute musical happened, Tony became de facto authority because he's the only one who knows anything about musical.
The problem is, if you say musical and you say Gary, Indiana, it's Michael Jackson the musical. You can't be in Gary, unfortunately.
What about that song Gary, Indiana?
Okay.
It's not as famous as Michael Jackson.
I didn't even know Michael Jackson.
No. Michael Jackson is just from Gary, Indiana, and he's the most musical thing associated with Gary, Indiana.
It's true, but no, there was
it sounds like I think he's the only nice thing associated.
What
with
is
Gary,
the old
Indiana,
musical? There's an old musical that is like Gary, Indiana, my home, sweet.
Oh yeah,
home.
Fucking, it's in the Music Man.
The Music Man.
You're right.
Yeah,
it's in the Music Man.
It's a big thing with Gary, Indiana before Michael Jackson.
Yeah, you're right. You know what? Here's something I forgot about the Music Man. You one up me, Heinz. You're now in charge of the musical, and I'm gonna walk away from the mic.
I am not the Music Man.
Tony abdicated musical throne to Heinz. Heinz, what do we do from here? I am useless until it comes to body horror.
It sounds like there's trouble right here in River City.
Well,
I like how we've already formed a Catholic.
No, I mean I think the first song has to be either when they're pregnant, talking about hope for the future and what their children will be like, or maybe they think they're only having one, especially if they think they're only having one and it's a girl and then they have twin boys. I think that's funny.
It's not
I think Tony
up.
was onto something already with that coming in.
Yeah,
otherwise I thought.
Well, I mean, it can just be like it can be before the push.
Before the push, you could have something like that. Then there's the push.
Like just to have the parents talking, and then it's not just one. You're having twins, and they're like, we're not prepared for twins.
Yeah, maybe there's a. Yeah, that's a fun song. Maybe it's a song about them being afraid because now they have 2 kids instead of 1 kid, and they could barely afford one.
Well, I think it can be one that that's the lead up, and we get a musical undertone to that lead up.
It's part of the overture.
It goes straight into the birth, and then my brother and my mother.
Yeah, it's the overture.
I also think it'd be funny if there was a song about how they should have had an abortion.
Parentheses.
No.
No, that can come later with the single dad.
Yeah.
Oh, that is actually pretty perfect later on. Yeah. Oh God, that's awful. But I thought maybe a musical number with the doctors that just explains the situation. I think it could be funny.
I think that could be the second one after they find out the mom dies, right. And then now we have the grieving dad in the room, and then so dad parentheses in grief, and then we get what would be a catchy name for a fucking song about doctors?
What's the
disorder? Oh, disorder. The next song is gonna be called Disorders conduct.
Oh,
disorderly, like a possessive conduct.
Disordersly.
Yeah, because this is all of the doctors in a musical explaining the horrific medical nightmare that is their children.
Oh, and then the twins give little song interludes while the doctors are going, and then they try to point it to the dad, and he's just dead silent, staring off into space.
You got all that, champ? Just him staring at the ground. And then the next thing you gotta do is you gotta make sure they're clean. Clean? Yes, always clean. Their tumor's gonna be gross, gross, gross.
There's a discharge. A discharge! Not you leaving the hospital. I mean, that thing's gonna leak like a spigot.
Yes. And don't you forget it. Yeah, we're gonna use all of the cheat rhymes we can. We're the amount of cheat rhymes we're going to have to use to make this musical work is... It's going to look like a Nelly album.
I was going to say Eminem, but yeah.
It won't nearly be fast enough to be an Eminem album. That's how he gets away with it.
You're not wrong.
He's just like... See, and you know what? For the record, that's why I've always been a big Busta Rhymes guy. Because...
Yes.
He does it fast, and he gets the rhymes right.
Yes.
Oh, and the dad's musical number, it's like this whole, it's just him staring at the suns, and this whole musical number happens under him, and he's still silent, and then it goes down for a second, and he just goes, I wish you were never born. And then it backs back up again, and he leaves the room.
Yeah, he gets a Mr. Cellophane moment. I think he does it in an operatic voice too. I wish you were never born. Some real, just lamenting.
This was the I wish we aborted song.
I mean,
yeah. It's just him singing as he walks up and down the hallway past the nursery.
I was thinking this was in high school, and he's just walking past his sons, telling them he wishes they were never
this is a big jump in the future, and now they're...
This is way later, and he fucking hates
he's telling them the story of it again.
Yeah. So either very, very more mournful and operatic, or just flat.
Yeah.
Fucking. I wish you were never born.
No, I wish you had died on the table. That that put an end to this fable, this farce we've been living. You can work with that. I'm so sick of giving. Oh man, damn it! I'm starting to write the song now. No.
Well, and that could be the undercurrent of his character, is just the massive amount of medical debt he's in now because of his sons.
Man.
No, I love it. I love it.
Medical debt too.
No, I'm just. Ben, there's a lot we got to work through.
I mean,
medical debt is written down and added to the character. It's just trying to figure out how the fuck we do this.
I mean, I'm calling the song a father's lament, but a single father's lament.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Aborted dreams.
Maybe I should go shake hands with the cement off a high-rise building. Okay, so we have the doctors, so then do we cut to them as, you want toddlers, or you want them starting school the next time we see them?
I think we've gotten everything we need in terms of information. I think we just cut straight to high school.
It's just them
like,
him driving them to school.
Yeah.
He's just looking in the rearview mirror.
And, like, if we want to be theatrical about it, like, you pull the curtains closed and then you see pictures, like, cut-out pictures go across the curtain of time passing by, and then it opens up to high school.
First day freshman year. All right, and so this has to be a song once they enter the high school. A song has to happen immediately. Welcome our new favorite freaks could be a fun theme.
Welcome our new favorite freaks.
Or
attached at the hip.
Like
that could just go into like a we don't care what anyone thinks about us. We're our best friends.
No, I have an alternate idea of what we can do. What if we just took the movie Stuck on You and then just cut in musical numbers from...
That was what I was like. Sounds like a Fairley Brothers. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I forgot the Fairley Brothers had Stuck on You. All the way back.
But no, this is like they have a rope between them, essentially, right?
Yeah.
How long is the rope? Does it get longer as they get older?
Inconveniently.
Is it tetherball style?
No, I think it gets shorter the more they get older and more like fucked up and gross. But it can start out longer so that we have like they have these bits with other people, but they're still very much attached. But as they get older, the conflict of the vestigial brother dying becomes far more closer to the dominant brother.
I mean, I'm just wondering, like, do they have to stand stomach to stomach at some point, or is it like?
I don't think they ever.
Yeah, it'll be long enough that they could stand next to each other, and.
I mean, I think it goes from like 2 feet down to 1 foot, and that's when the other brother is about to be surgically removed.
Is there one point where they have to like do a Bjorn system? He's just carrying around this like dying husk.
Oh man, I thought you said a Bjork system, and my brain was just like immediate sent to foghorns.
It's a Bjork system. The spiders are ratcheting my eyes. The forests are crying. It's my Bjork.
It's accurate. You just need to add a foghorn in there. Or her making herself sound like a dolphin for no reason.
The leaves.
I swear to God, one of her songs ends with just 30 seconds of her just making dolphin noises, and every so often WBER would play it on the radio, and I would feel like I was going into a psychosis.
I mean, that's a lot of her songs. Just the psychosis part.
Fair enough.
I fucking love Bjork. I'm gonna be.
I mean, you're allowed to be wrong, so.
I fucking love Bork.
Yeah.
Bork's the best.
Yeah.
Bork.
Yeah, me and Robert Bork.
I mispronounce things and I know nothing about musicals. Welcome to Mega Blood Moon, the podcast.
We're writing
me and Robert
full-time
Bork go
musical.
way back. Oh, dude, I could write you a great musical about the attempt to get Bork on the Supreme Court. Fuck, man.
It's a Bjork minus J mixtape.
Damn, that'd be good. That'd be good too.
Yeah, it was a Bork joke.
Bad joke.
Yeah. But I think if you get Bjork and Violent J on the mixtape, though, I would listen to it.
I would listen to the shit out of that. You fucking kidding me, dude? The spiders are coming through the bark. Yeah.
And the Juggalos come after dark. Yeah, you can make it work.
Whoop whoop.
I just want
Hearing
to see
Bjork attempt to do a whoop whoop
with full Juggalo paint.
I'm pretty sure that you can find one of her album covers and she is doing that. You tell me. You look at Bjork and tell me that thing's human.
So we got our first song going.
Yeah. So it's the whole song has to be centered around everybody's trying not to call them freaks, right? So like I was sitting there silently for a minute.
People are just super accepting of them.
I think like welcome our special students. Parentheses don't say the freak word.
So do they look like Siamese twins? Is it like they're wearing one shirt? Or is it a shirt with a hole cut in it on each one, and the thing goes
Oh,
through?
definitely holes.
Okay.
I was thinking a shirt with a hole cut in. Yeah.
This appendage is constantly visible.
Yes.
Okay. Yes.
Which is the impotence for the parentheses. Don't say the Greek word. So welcome freshmen, parentheses, don't say the freak word. And that's where we introduce, we have to have two different love
interests.
Why do we need two? Why not just one?
Triangle, baby.
Because there are two main.
Well, no, you just have one, so that one, when the one of them gets put to death, it can be a tragedy. I think it can be a tragedy.
A comedic tragedy.
Yeah, it's like, oh, they both have a crush on this girl, and then by senior year, the dominant brother gets to take her to prom, and the other one gets put to medical
This actually
death.
sounds a lot like real Siamese twins. Eventually, they marry two separate women and have two separate houses.
Tony, you
and spend different nights at each. But
yeah,
they were always in love with the same woman.
Yuck. Tony, how you doing up there?
How do we make this musical?
I'm trying, and then you guys are changing everything. Give me a minute. I got a formula. This is something you can just toss off like a spy movie. You got to think about structure. You got to think about songs. You got to think about blocking. You got to think about choreography. You got to make it visually
I don't think we need to think about
interesting.
You're not producing it. We're writing
it. Yeah. Like, I'm halfway expecting to see, like, set blocking coming out. Is this episode going to have supplemental material with
Do you have a list of dancers yet?
Yeah, we always go Garth Fagan. He's a local hero. That man did all the choreography for the fucking Lion King. We ain't using anybody other than Garth Fagan.
The live action one or the cartoon?
No, the musical that is the most top grossing musical of all time. Garth Fagan, baby, Rochester, born and raised, and his studio's still downtown.
Damn.
Yeah. One of the many bizarre things my parents have done. My mom, when she was growing up and until she was like 25, danced at the Garth Fagan studio doing ballet and shit.
Cool.
So they have to always be in the same class. So it's hard to show them as separate characters if they're always going to be, because the umbilical cord isn't long enough for them to be in separate classrooms. You know what I mean?
Unless we just use it as a sight gag and one of the brothers just has to stand next to the door of the classroom and you see the umbilical cord coming out.
It stretches a lot.
I mean, we can have fun with it.
I just pictured a foreshot of them sitting at two different desks with the thing connecting them, and then they're looking opposite directions talking to two different women. Like,
yes, that's why I thought there should be two love interests. Yeah. Yes, that's why I thought there should be two love interests. We're in the same... we were matching up.
I mean, and I like that idea, but, like, you could have one of the twins constantly, like, trying to look back at what the other girl is saying.
No, I think you're on something here. Because
I think you're on something when you came up with this idea.
Go along in the plot. Ooh, bitter. I think you're onto something. Because if there's one girl with the vestigial twin, then there can be... Because in my mind, the ending is everyone leaves to congratulate the dominant twin on being prom king, and then it can just be the other girl who's stuck by the vestigial twin crying.
Yeah, her end point is she gets her own version of fucking memories from Cats. All alone in the moonlight, like... Left alone. He wasn't a vestigial clone. He was the love of my life. Something like that. You make it work.
Now I'll have to be fingered in college. That would be an amazing song. That'd be
Does
so
he go to
fucking
college?
funny.
Does this end at high school? He just becomes prom king. That's the end. Is the final shot
the end.
Of
everyone cheers for him
the
as prom
flat
king.
line and everything? Is it like you show? Yeah, like off to the left is the bed and the hospital bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah. We're on the same page. He's getting crowned prom king, and then you ascend him into the heavens on fucking guide ropes like it's Jesus Christ fucking superstar. And then lights go black on that, spotlight on the flat line. She sings her song, musical ends on a complete downer.
What if it doesn't even have a song at the end? What if she's just sitting there crying and then the flat line?
It's a fucking musical. You gotta have a song at the end.
You don't have to have a song at the end. It could just be a moment of dead silence and sobbing.
No.
No.
No. If we're doing a Grease ending, but with a death, there's a song at the end.
There's two mental breakdowns happening. One, trying to make the musical formula make sense with this, and then second, having to deal with me just saying, "Well, we don't have to do that musical element." I'm sorry for putting you through the ringer this episode.
I just don't know what to do. It's gotta be so gross.
Does the brother not?
I don't want to do the gross.
I don't want to do the gross.
No, the brother cannot care because he's being crowned prom king.
Yeah, I think that's his
his last song there
is that the brother stops caring about.
Yeah,
him.
is it's all the lyrics are an Atlas metaphor. Like he's taking the weight off of his shoulder. That weight being his vestigial brother who's dying. And then you go in. The final song is the heartbroken other girl as he flatlines, and then you end on the fucking downer. But yeah, so it's Atlas metaphor song. Full parentheses weight of the world. Finally off. Or no, man. Atlas finally shrugs. That's the name of that song. Her song was my better half, something like that. Former better half.
It could just be my better half. That ties it together in a really nice, little ironic.
Something like that. That's her end. Okay, so you guys figure out the middle.
I mean, the idea. Okay, the idea of the progression of one twin being strong and the other being weak, and then them switching, I think would add to the fact that the man doesn't care when his brother dies, because if the stronger one is an asshole to the weaker one until they switch.
No, absolutely. I mean, I think in my mind, just in terms of them as characters, it is freshman year, one is strong, one is weak. Sophomore year, the weaker one is now on the same level as the stronger one, so they're equal. And the weaker one starts to get like an ego from that. Junior year, the weaker one is now it's a reverse of freshman year, and then senior year, the vestigial brother is now just a husk, and the weaker brother is now this super popular, super healthy demigod of high school.
Yeah, that sounds about right. But the idea is he has the surgery while he's being crowned prom king.
No, he has the surgery right before prom. Then he goes to prom, has king, and then while he is being crowned, that's when his brother is finally dying.
Oh, I see. The brother dies in the hospital as he's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. When I was saying that stuff, I was imagining it as a stage play. So you would center all the prom king stuff on the left, and then shut lights on all that, and just spotlight right on the just literally a fucking hospital bed, a heart rate monitor, and a lady in the chair who's about to sing a very sad song.
I totally get it. For some reason, I had this picture of him standing on stage as the prom king, still attached to a dying brother in a hospital bed. Okay.
Oh no, he's free. But that is fucking funny.
But okay, this makes more sense.
All right, so you want to cover 4 years, so we need a high point for every year. We can have a running. We could do a running song to show passage of time every time there's a Christmas. They have a really shitty Christmas, but it's always the same song, but same tune with different lyrics. How their father keeps giving them shitty Christmases. I guess you need some sort of sport. Do you need one of them to do a sport? You can't because they're attached. Tennis. They could do tennis. Doubles tennis.
They could do tennis. Could be funny if one is a designated hitter and another is a catcher, but for the opposite team.
One's just the catcher, and then the other one is like a DH, and he only comes in occasionally and just steps around his brother and bats.
Yes, exactly.
Otherwise, he's just like leaned up against him in the back.
He's just kind of crouched.
My thought is that it's
sideways
basically
next to him.
long enough that they can hinge, like they would be able to like stand back to back.
Yeah. I like, honestly, I don't think whatever the length is in the beginning until I think the senior year, whatever the length is, whatever works for the gag. Honestly,
Can we have one?
Do we do a
scene where
beach episode?
I keep having this picture of them playing double dutch with some people with the rope.
I mean, I think we can have gags in between stuff, like Tony with the Christmas stuff. That's a good in between time to give the father some characteristics, but sports and like recess and lunch at the high school, that's all a great time for gags.
Well, yeah, we just have them do that in the front of the curtain while they. Oh wait, I forgot it's not a stage play.
Well,
that would be when you are changing
shot?
The scene behind them.
Is this shot as a stage play or is it shot?
I think it should be shot as a stage play. It's gonna be the only way to fucking pull this shit off.
Yeah, he could pull it off as a movie, but it'd definitely be great as a stage play. I think they both have the equal ability to do this. I mean, like, even the prom scene at the end, that would just be intercutting between the two. Or if you really want to go the carry route, have split screen.
I mean, I think the problem is I have to work this out mentally as a stage musical before I can think about the film adaptation.
I mean, I don't even think that's
that is where I think
that
is simply where I am. So we insert
that's
gags whenever their stagehands are changing out the scene behind them.
For the prom king song, as one is dying and the other one becomes a prom king, I just have this image of him hitting basically a high note at the end of the song and then it bleeding into the flat line.
Yep.
Okay.
That was we were on the exact same page.
Absolutely. Nope. All that was an all three of us thing. Absolutely.
All right. So we got the prom king song. What's the next song or last song?
It's just write down better half. It's the other love interest finale
that
song.
Comes after the prom king song.
Yeah,
gotcha.
that's our to curtain close. We're getting a sad ending in this one.
Can't be a happy ending.
No, and that song is all about the future that she wanted to have with him, but now it's gone. Like tears in the rain. Blade Runner.
You may have been tied to him, but I was always tied to you.
Yeah, exactly. You got it. That's how you do that one. So what we need is what's called the entire middle.
I mean, I think we got at least our character structure with the way the other one becomes stronger, because they got to start out figuratively tied at the hip. But after that, when does the change start to happen? When do the brothers start? When does one brother start to resent the other, or when does it
halfway point? Equal? Sophomore year.
Yeah, I mean, if this is
cool.
just high school, or I don't know how much featuring of like kids, you know, them as children.
Ben already said he wanted to skip the whole kid part and just go straight into them going into
high school.
Yeah,
he did. Yeah.
I mean, sophomore year makes a lot of sense because in my mind, that's when they are like the most equal amount of healthy.
You need set pieces so that you can have songs. You could do them doing sports be a song. It's very common for high school musicals. I think of the most famous one.
One of the gags I think of is a relay race, like a baton handoff.
The friction could begin sophomore year where they are both trying out for the same team and one gets on and the other doesn't get on. And we don't go into that further, but like they have this whole like, well, what do we do moment, at least emotionally.
Or you could do one of them's an athlete, the other one's a jock.
I was actually thinking, what if one of them is like musical theater, and the other one wants to be a jock. The weak one wants to be a jock. The strong one is a talented singer, and then slowly but surely he loses the ability to sing.
Print it.
Yeah.
Write it down.
I like that.
We don't have we barely have rising action.
Okay, so for reference, we'll never do a musical again because Tony, are you having a panic attack?
Don't worry, I'm writing the word musical down.
We only need 7 more songs. Come on.
All right, everybody, think about high school for a second. What are big things that happen? They get invited to a party finally, junior year. That's a song.
Gotta be a song. Gotta be a party song. Maybe a bus song or the lunchroom, like a cafeteria experience song.
Standing up against a bully song, because obviously someone's going to call him a freak.
I think the lunchroom conflict is that they're sitting at separate tables.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like one of them is popular, one of them is not.
Ooh, and that could be a reprise of the bully song, because a dork could trip over their umbilical cord, and the stronger brother wants to fight him, while the weaker brother's like, "What are you doing?" he didn't.
When is the moon exploding?
It's a good point.
I've been trying to figure out when the moon would explode, guys. I can't figure it out.
My thought was during prom. There's like a prom. Maybe it's themed. It's a themed prom for the blood moon, and then there's a big blood moon that pops to crown the.
He ascends into the blood
king.
moon and props.
Honestly, I thought of the blood moon in this would probably be like the father is waiting in the waiting room, or is like falls asleep during labor and has this dream of the moon exploding, and then wakes up to what is left of his family.
I don't think we want to overuse the dream exploding moon.
Oh well, okay, yeah.
I don't think it's a bad idea. I just think it'd be weird to do that when the theme prom actually solves issues.
Oh, like a moon themed prom.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that works.
Because we already want to have like the dad be cold and detached, but if we're giving him prophetic dreams, we would need to make him more unhinged. I feel like.
Yeah, I think he's just sad.
Sad dad.
A deeply
Bad dad
resentful
song.
man.
I think we already have that written down. Damn it.
Well, it was more of a Mad Dad song.
What if there's an
Mr.
idea for a
Cellophane.
song that could be between junior and senior year? The vestigial brother goes to his dad asking for his advice, and the dad's song is "Give Up." It doesn't get better. Give up.
Wait, is Atlas Finally Shrugged the Prom King song?
That's the prom. That's the prom king
Gotcha. That's
song.
the same song.
Because the weight has been lifted. Now I can ascend. You all see that I'm gifted. Something like that.
There it is.
Keep rolling it that way.
I want to go make out with Stacy under the bleachers. It's my game. I gotta go play the game.
So freshman, we'll do bully song, I guess. Lunchroom trouble. Sophomore year, we can do trying out. Will be the sports song. Left behind. For the one who doesn't make it.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Junior year, we got King of the Campus, because it turns out the one who's good at sports is good at sports, and A Place for Me, question mark, because of the other brother who is slowly falling apart.
Why aren't you writing more
Yeah,
musicals?
this is-
You are
kidding
insane
me?
at this.
This is just
This
falling
is
out of
diabolical what you are doing. Yeah, what the fuck?
What?
you. You are the music man.
Make your own spin-off podcast where you just write musicals. What are you doing with us? You have a career.
Can you guys not do this?
Zach, don't interrupt the genius's flow. Let him spill. It's God, inconsiderate of you. Zach.
Please, Tony.
Alright, so we're gonna need one more song per year. But we're gonna need interstitial scenes. So freshman, we bully song. Then they're forming a friend group in between the two.
I mean, theoretically, you could give each one a song at different moments.
Maybe that's something for the later years. They're singing together in junior.
That's
and
kind of how I
sophomore.
had it.
Or sophomore.
Yeah,
or
that's
freshman.
how I had.
Yeah.
That's when you get to junior year, King of the Campus is the healthy one song, whereas A Place for Me question mark is the sad one song.
So there's trying out
so
left behind.
let's-
There's like freshman song.
Yeah, that's like a combo song. So it starts where they're both trying out, and then it ends melding into Left Behind, which is the one finding out he's not on the team, the other one trying to cheer him up. So they're still singing together, but one of them's getting left behind. So we're gonna put, I'm gonna label these with how many people we got singing. That's gonna be 2 2 1 1 there. That way we could do solo 1, solo 2. So that'll be solo V, solo for the lunchroom, because that's our first hint of conflict, is them arguing over the freshman who trips over their stuff. So to end freshman year, there should be a song that we need one more song for for freshman, sophomore, and junior year. So what's an event that can happen at each of those years that we could have. It could be either or. It could be both of them. It could be a whole group. Or it could be them with their friends.
Okay, so junior year, it should be with the father.
Yes.
And his song is "It Doesn't
All
Get
right,
Better."
so father.
I mean, do we introduce? I mean, is there any? Are they like?
Oh,
they
we have the
attempt to
love
go
interest
to-
songs.
To,
Yeah, we do.
Junior prom, and it doesn't work out.
I think we skip junior
Skip
prom.
Okay.
Yeah, no. This is what we no.
There's
We need
junior
we
prom?
need love interest songs. So
Yeah.
Yes.
so two apples of my eye will be for the first one, and that'll be yeah, and then sophomore year is it's got to be something on the theme where she wants to get one of them alone. But what's a good musical? I want if only you could have a solo, something like that, something maybe an anchor metaphor. Anybody know Latin? Oh no, Sotto Voce isn't that only voice? Sotto Voce? No. I don't know.
Half for you, half for me. When do I get my half?
Now we're talking. A time with my half could work. When do I get my half? Something like that. Yeah. All right. We'll write that down for now. And that's both love interests. So you do F1 and F2 for that because they're the ones argue. That's an argument song in between the two of them. Sophomore year. And then then we have King of the Campus, A Place for Me, The Father Thing. We should have one more song with both of them, with both of the love interests going into senior year about asking them to prom. So the prom song is gonna be you're gonna have all four of them because you're showing each pair asking to prom. How this works out logically, right, is that he's the one's dying while prom is taking place, but usually get asked to prom like a month or two before.
Yeah.
So we have to have him decide, convince his dad to go through with the surgery after we have the prom asking song. So for senior, so we'll have whatever insert prom song there, and then we'll have another song with the dad, which is it's time to pull the plug. It's just called "It's Time to Pull the Plug," and that gets us to the prom, which gets us to the last two songs, which means the prom asking song. Man,
Ooh, Take My Hand / Don't Let Go. Both of the girls get to talk about.
Yes, there we
their
go.
brothers.
Take my hand, don't let go. Well, fantastic.
This is after time to pull the plug.
No, this is before.
Yep.
Because they both get asked to prom. They agree, but the other brother doesn't want to have to deal with his brother at prom, so he goes to dad and says it's time to pull the plug. They have the "It's Time to Pull the Plug" song. They go to prom. It sends in the sky. Blood moon balloon explodes. Other one dies. Song.
That, and at that point, it can be like the Vestigial Brothers. Like, look, even if I do keep on living, I'm gonna. Die.
He's got a quick song just called "On Borrowed Time." After it's time to pull the plug. Yep. All right, we got it. Never ask me to do this again.
You're absolutely crushing it. And you're just like, I hate this.
You literally spilled the plot of this movie out. I think me and Heinz had maybe a handful of suggestions, and then this just poured out of you. This is
it's gross. I don't want to talk about gross things in umbilical cords. You guys have to put all the disgusting parts in there.
But you came up with the best opening of the vulval curtains opening.
I mean, yeah, that's just like basic stagecraft.
That was softball.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be real with you. That was a softball knocking out of the park. I'm not taking credit for that one. Well, then I guess, shit, man, Tony, you knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Summarize the
There's
plot.
no way I could.
Give me a moment.
My entire outline is all over the place. We jumped around so much.
We have no character names, and I'm not naming any characters for the record.
Doesn't
Okay.
matter. I don't think it matters.
We open with an overture. Now, unlike most overtures, we're going to have two actors, the actors playing the mom and the father, doing voiceovers over the overture. And it's going to start very minor key, and it's going to be them discussing what they think their child is going to be, their hopes and dreams for the future. And then as the overture builds, because overtures are usually like 10 minutes long, we change the theme into more major chords, and we hit with the push Come on, honey, you're doing great. All right, push harder, harder, and then that's when the black curtains drop, and you get the vulva curtains. God damn it! Which leads us to them being pulled back and pushed forward on the stage. Are I guess we have to have them in like baby cotton. I don't fucking. That's not my department. I'm just working out the rest of this. And they do their opening number, which is my brother, and the T. The T being the tumor. All right? And that, as they're going on, more and more doctors join in, right, around them. So we get the full chorus line opening. Everybody's there. And then that's when, once they hit the end note, we have another guy walk in off stage, walk up to the father and be like, I'm sorry, your wife has just died on the table. All right? Then we have the next scene, which, so, stage change, but really not that much. We just flip it around. The dad is sitting in a room, and there's a doctor explaining to him just the nightmarish, horrific medical awfulness that is the current existence of his two sons. And that is where we get the song, Disorder's Least Conduct, where the doctor explains what their life is going to be like. And he might even say in that song that you might have to make a decision down the road, but you don't have to make it now.
Oh, absolutely. He just absolutely foreshadows that, hey, this is probably what's going to happen.
All right. And then we curtain black. Next time we see everything, he's driving the sons to school for their first day of high school. If you want, one of you mentioned that we could show projected stills of them growing up. I don't even think we need that. Fuck it, dude. Like, what are we talking about?
Fine.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, it works.
As they go up to the school, we have the opening school song, which is Welcome Freshmen, and then parentheses, don't say the freak word, because as everybody's saying, everybody's whispering a little, like, check a look at those freaks. You can't say it. And then that leads us into them getting bullied on their first day. The bully gets a song. He actually calls him a freak. After that, they form a group of friends, but they form two different groups of friends, and that leads to the lunchtime trouble, or the lunchroom trouble, which is its own song about how they're starting to have different instances, and like the later seasons of what was that show with Tia and Tamara Mowry? Sister. You know how in later Sister seasons they change the theme song where it's like, I want my own life, my own style, and my own stuff. Yeah, so that's where we start that there, okay, and we have the two love interests on the opposite side of the same lunchroom as that whole kerfuffle is ending, amicably probably, and they sing the Two Apples of My Eyes song. Which leads us to our first Shitty Christmas, because we're using that to pass time. So Dad's Shitty Christmas song, or them having a Shitty Christmas as a song. And then we're going to hop to sophomore year, all right? And we're going Trying Out, which is both of them singing. And that leads directly into Left Behind, because one of them made the team, one of them didn't. And then that leads to them wanting to split time, but they can't because one has to be with the other who's constantly going to practice, even though he's not on the team, frustrating both female love interests, which gives us Time with My Half, which is their duo song for sophomore year. All right, we'll do a scene in between the two where they win some sort of championship, thanks to the more powerful twin, or the one who made the team. Which leads us into the junior year opening song, King of the Campus, which is sung by the popular one who was on the sports ball team. We never specified a sport, so currently I'm thinking it's the Jugger from the movie The Jugger, but it's not.
Yeah. No, that's the correct sport. Whatever you guess, the Jugger's the correct sport.
And once that's over, and everybody's off stage, we get the other brother's sad song, which is A Place for Me ? And he goes to his dad for advice, and his father gets his song, which is It Doesn't Get Better. We show them having fun and partying in the summer between their junior and senior year.
That can also, so that party can also be where the first sign that the vestigial brother is not going to make it happens.
Yeah, as long as it happens after his father saying it doesn't get better, and then that's when his decline starts.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll write the decline of brother party. Oh, and they also, so we have the party, and then we just had it going straight into, the prom songs. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a scene there. We're going to do a classroom scene, all acting, to show, a further decline.
There it is.
Because that will help that flow better. That leads us into Take My Hand song, which is the prom asking song. And once they're set, they have their dates for prom, then we have the other brother who hadn't gotten advice from his dad go to his dad and say, I think it's time to pull the plug. The dad has they have a pull the plug song. Once again, Terry Schiavo relevant after our mention of 2005 earlier somehow.
We're
bringing Schiavo back. Then we are at the and then I guess so they set up the surgery. He gets cut off. One's in the hospital. One goes to prom. We get Atlas Finally Shrugged, which is the one who's surviving, ascending in with his mega blood balloon bursting. Then we get the other one flatlining at the end of the high note, and then we get the other the love interest who is left with the dead twin singing "My Former Better Half." The musical is over.
Incredible work. Oh, I did have one song to throw in for the first Christmas with the father. It's Two People, One Gift. Dad only ever gets them one gift.
Perfect. That's why the Christmas is shitty, because I just assumed the Christmas would be shitty, so there we go. 2 people, 1 gift.
There it is. My God. Anthony, incredible work today. And now this weight can be off of your shoulders.
Can you let it go?
This is gross. I don't like new Disney shit. Get the fuck out of here. Once Disney moved away from hand-drawn animation, they lost me.
I thought you're looking at our plot going, I don't like new Disney shit. Get out of here.
Once I moved away from hand-drawn animation, it really, really irked me. Big of Iberg's guy. You guys have any edits? Anything you want to change,
notes,
please?
Sir.
Nope.
No notes at
Oh,
all.
fuck.
Absolutely incredible.
Oh, shit.
Nope, you nailed it. Knocked it out of the park. We even figured out how to put the Mega Blood Moon exploding in a musical.
Yeah. And I don't think it's too hamstrung. It's perfect.
Next time we have to do a musical, could it be less gross?
Unless you...
You should come up with the idea. I'm not the one you should ask about that.
All of the imagery that has been racing through my head has been so gross this entire time.
Mega Blood Moon, a musical that isn't gross.
I'd write it.
Mega Blood Moon, Yuck the Musical.
No.
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 On that note, for those of you listening at home, if you ever want to take one of these ideas that we talk about on the podcast and write it for yourself, please feel free to. And please go to our website, megabloodmoon.com, and reach out to us if there is an idea that you have that you would like us to cover on the podcast. Otherwise, email afearsomewizard@megabloodmoon.com. Thank you so much for listening, and whatever time of day it is, have a good one.
And thank you for listening to the Mega Blood Moon podcast. We recently had our first movie, Mega Blood Moon the Freelancer, released on Amazon, Google Play, and YouTube Movies. So check it out for rent or purchase there. If you would like to contact the podcast, you can reach us at megabloodmoon.com. Our email addresses are afearsomewizard@megabloodmoon.com and unknown_Italian@megabloodmoon.com. You can always check out our various social medias, including our Sanguine Moonbase Instagram, which is honestly probably the best place to keep up with us. Anything else? Twitter, maybe. Who knows? TikTok, if you have one of those. I mean, it's the modern age. We all have various forms of social media, and you can bet Mega Blood Moon somewhere on there. And if you would like to do something for the show, rate and review us on whatever platform that you found us on. 5 stars are preferred because for some reason that's all that matters.